What's up, manifestors? I am so excited because I have Sinead De Hora here today, international angel healer. She knows everything about angels, signs, synchronicities, intuition, the niggles. She knows it all. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, I'm super, super excited. I know the audience are just going to be obsessed with this. Like people love the signs and the synchronicities.
Well, I'm not surprised, even with your energy alone and talking about 777. I'll just go dive straight in here.
Yeah.
777 can represent spiritual awakening. It can represent like really aligning with your growth, your spiritual self, like that real strong sense of who you are. And even how you talk and even how you just introduced this show today alone, you just have that real sense of power, like you're really stepping into this version of you. So I'm not surprised you see that growth, that expansion, that abundance with 777. It's actually one of my lucky numbers too, actually.
And you know, the door of the studio is 7.
I noticed.
Did you see that?
I noticed.
Guys, when I was trying to get Sinead on the podcast, we were trying to figure out a time, and it worked out that the 22nd worked. And I was like, how about 11 a.m. on the 22nd? So it's 11/22. 11,
yes.
22. That's
I forgot about that. Yes, 11/22. So even with that, now we can talk numbers. So if I went into specifics on all numbers, we would be here
all day.
For hours. But even just on that, a lot of people with angelic numbers, maybe I'll go back to a little bit. Angel numbers and angelic numbers are beautiful ways that angels or universe, whatever you like to say, can communicate with us to give us that sign of support, that sign of love, encouragement, whenever we feel like we need it. So each number has a different vibration and each number has a different meaning that can support you in where you are right now. So often people say, like, why do I just all of a sudden start seeing numbers? It's usually our awareness has started to change. We're starting to become more aware of ourselves, maybe more spiritual, or maybe coming back to ourselves a little bit more, coming back to our roots and our well-being. And seeing angel numbers or signs is a gorgeous way to recognize, actually, I'm growing here. My frequency is changing and up-leveling. So when we see these gorgeous numbers, they are to support us and have that signs of comfort and support in whatever we're going through in life. And like I said, each number holds a vibration. So I mentioned 777 already, but 111 is such a common number that we see kind of the most, if you will. And that's a question I get asked all the time. And there's two sides to that, 111. And 111, which everyone knows, I think, I like to say, is that we feel we're on the right path. This is a gorgeous sign. Our angels are saying hello. But what people don't often know, and this is so powerful, it's also a sign to actually get you to stop, pause, and say, what was I doing? What was I thinking when I seen 111? Because 111 gets you to go, hang on, are my thoughts and my current actions and belief system in aligned with this new path or whatever it is I want to manifest? So it's really powerful. And so when we see all the time to get you to check yourself. So when you see 111, I'm like, yeah, it's great. You're on the right path, but check yourself. Are your thoughts, your actions, your words that you're speaking, maybe a conversation you're having in the moment, are they in alignment with who you are and who you want to be? I think that's really important.
And so can you give us a brief synopsis of the rest of them, like really quickly? 222,
Yes.
333, 444, 555.
Okay, they tell a story. So it literally goes from 1 all the way to 9.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll try and keep it short and sweet. I could talk for Ireland. So 111, like I said, I've already covered 111. It's the start of a path. Then we see 222. Again, there's a kind of a dual side to 222 as well. It can represent creating some balance in your life. So if you think of like that balance and harmony, how can I be more creative and expressive? And when I see 222, I often come back to the feminine energy as well. I don't know if you know much about masculine and feminine energies.
I think I'm more masculine myself. I'm like, don't give me any bullshit excuses. You manifest your dream. I'm like, I'm real like.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
But I do know that I need to bring in the feminine a little bit more. But I think I'm more of a masculine energy, you know.
The feminine is where you manifest from. The masculine makes it happen. And this is what we need to learn. Like it doesn't matter what gender you identify as. Every single person on the planet has a masculine and a feminine energy in their body.
Yeah.
Every single person. And the feminine is your real soft, gentle, intuitive, kind, compassionate self. Okay, it's the person that has so much empathy for yourself and others. When balanced, actually, there's a huge imbalance topic too on this. But when balanced, we're so connected with ourselves, we're connected with the moment, the present. We feel creative and artistic. We can express ourselves. And then the masculine, when balanced, makes things happen. So the masculine is, we're structured, we're organized, we get the job done. As you said, just come on, make it happen, get top to it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the masculine makes it happen. But of course, like anything in life, if we're overexerting ourselves or we're being pushed one way or we're doing too much and not listening to ourselves, then we can go into the imbalance side of things as well. Okay. And then how you recognize that, which I think I'm just going to share because it's so important. With the feminine imbalanced, we can be quite needy, bitchy, moany, like, why is this happening to me? Very much going into a little bit of a victim mindset of how this isn't happening. The universe is not talking to me. I'm not getting angel signs. We can feel quite judgmental on ourselves and others, and maybe jealous. Jealousy can come up quite a lot in the imbalanced feminine. And the imbalanced masculine, we can feel so overwhelmed, so anxious, like there's too much on our to-do list. There's too much happening right now. We can feel like we're like a swan. We're kind of gliding on the outside, but pedaling to be the band on the inside, right? And we feel like we're getting nowhere. We're trying and not getting anywhere. And how you get out of the imbalanced is go to the opposite balanced. Does that make sense? So for example, if you're in the imbalanced feminine, where you feel, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, you feel jealous of others, in that low vibe, it's time to take action and do something fun for yourself. Go into the action mode of the masculine. So how can I be productive today? How can I give to myself today? What actions can I do to give more love? And then if you're in the imbalanced masculine, then you gotta, if you're anxious and overwhelmed, this is your body's way of saying, hang on, let's get balanced. Let's go back to self-love. Maybe I do some yoga today, or light a candle and read a book. Can I talk to a friend and tell a loved one how much I love them? Like, what can I do to come back to the balance? Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense. I think the key thing there, though, is awareness.
100%.
And that's what I tell people always on their manifestation journey, is that, like, you've got to take responsibility for yourself, and you've got to start becoming aware of these feelings, right? Like, I even had a manifestation talk on Instagram last night. It was about your dream job. And one person said to me in the chat, they were like, I'm really struggling at the moment because I find that everybody in my life is just negative and bringing everything down, and everything's negative, and I'm attracting these toxic people. And I know this might sound bitchy, but I was like, I'm not attracting toxic people, because if they do come into my life, I say, bye, see you later. Do you know what I mean? So it's about as well becoming aware of what you're going to accept too in your life.
And don't take it on.
And don't take it on. But I actually think I really had an aha moment when I went to Gabrielle Bernstein. And she said, one thing that I realized about Irish people when she did her research, and she has this person who works for her called Jess, who's got like an Irish background, is that Irish people are people pleasers. And it made so much sense, because I do get a lot of messages from people saying like, oh, my sister or my friend is going through this hard time and I'm so focused on them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why are you all up in their business? Like, you can be supportive, but you also need to be able to be supportive in a more of a positive way, as opposed to encouraging them to continue to be that victim. That's a segue anyway. We're on the numbers.
Well, this is part of the numbers.
Yeah.
This is all part of the numbers, believe it or not.
So interesting.
But I love what you just said there as well. It's really important, and I know the people pleaser in us all, okay? Is it there? We have to ask ourselves, is it there because I genuinely want to help this other person, or am I doing it to be seen, to be validated, have external validation? And something that it comes up quite a lot in online, online and in-person ceremonies, mainly in-person ceremonies or retreats that I hold. If someone, for whatever reason, is going through a really intense emotion in a group setting, one thing I do not allow is for another person to come and put their arm around them. I'm like, no. Give that person an opportunity to work on whatever is coming up from them. Give them an opportunity to understand their emotion without trying to fix or heal. You can't do that for another person. But what you can do is be there. hold space for them. I call them truth bumps when we're saying the right thing, because it's really important. This is so important, clearly. But this is so powerful, to give another person opportunities to be. You can't fix everybody, and you're not meant to. As a healer, which is what I am, it's not my job or role to help you, to heal you or fix you. My job is to be a mirror to you, to show you how to heal yourself. And if any healer ever says that I can heal you or fix you, then that's a little red flag, okay? Because that's not our job. We're mirrors of each other, to help each other, to hold space for you to do the work yourself. And it's so important. So that's what I mentioned earlier on when you said about someone taking on so much energy. You don't need to take it on. If someone's being negative, I wonder, are they okay? How are they doing today? What's going on in their mindset or their heart that's causing that little negativity or that imbalance there? We spoke about the masculine and feminine balance. If they're being quite negative, that instantly hears imbalanced feminine. So they need to take action and do something about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And sometimes you have to recognize that you're dealing with some people who don't want to change, who are happy being a victim, who like the way they are. And you've just got to cut yourself out of that picture.
And it's all beautiful. It's also beautiful.
And I do really believe that fundamentally, if you've got people coming into your life, you've got to say, what is this person trying to teach me? Yes. Because everyone will teach you something. Somebody will show up to give you hope. You know, like maybe somebody who's struggling to have a baby, for example, might come to my page and be like, they always say to me, I don't know how I found your page, but I landed on it and it's just what I needed. And I say, I prayed for you. Like I always say this prayer at night, like, universe, send the people that need me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Send them to me, the people. So like you have to recognize, when you have to cut yourself out of the picture as well, you know?
And this still mirrors, we're still on 222, by the way.
Yeah.
This is all about 222. It's finding the balance.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So this is all about 222 and angel numbers. And when I say angel numbers, they're here to remind us of all this. They're here to just bring that awareness, you know? So 222 is finding the balance within. So if a person is still attracting all these negative people, they're still going to until they learn the word no.
Yeah.
Or until they learn the lesson of it all. And it might be a different person, but it's going to be the same pattern of thought all the time, or the same synchronicity, or the same kind of problem, if you will, until they go, hang on a minute, no thank you, no more.
That speaks to me so much, because I always say the universe will keep sending you the same lesson until you cut it out. It's like dating the guy that treats you like shit. Like you're going to continue to get that same behavior until you make that decision. No, I am not accepting this.
Until you know your values, until you know your worth.
Yeah.
So it's understanding your value. So 222, come back to this. I haven't forgotten about the numbers. 222 is all about balance and really understanding, am I in balance? What can I do to bring more harmony to my nervous system, to myself, to my actions, to what I desire? How can I bring more balance to myself? And it is a gorgeous sign of creativity and unison and expression. And then we've got 333.
Can I just jump in, just ask you one question here? Okay, so 222 does come up a lot because it's now on our car regs, right? Yeah. So like, are these, like, do you say, if I see it and I think it's a sign, or like, is it always a sign from the angels? Like, how, do you know what I mean?
I love this question. And I'm going to maybe throw a spanner in the works and say no. Okay. If we're seeing something all the time, like 222 is very common. So I wouldn't go, oh, there's an angel sign every time. Because you'll be just overloaded, right? And they have so much to do. Let's just call a spade a spade. Now, they are around us anytime we desire, okay? And they're here to support us. But you will feel it in your body when you know it's an angel sign. And I want to talk about tells. Remind me to talk about that because it's really important.
About what?
They're called tells, like how you know if it's a sign.
Tells, like tells.
Yeah,
okay,
like tells.
Okay. It's like this knowing that it is a sign.
So important for me to talk about this because I can feel a whoosh. Okay, so you'll understand your tells when you know it's a sign, when you know it's a message, when you know it's for you.
Ready, set, manifest. This September, live in the Sugar Club, the Manifestation Masterclass with me and international manifestation coach Matt Cook and soon to be published Penguin author is coming. This is going to be the event of the year. So get your tickets. Sunday, September 14th, it's a day event. get them on thesugarclub.com. Okay, so 333.
333 is, I love this number. It's very special for me, actually. My cousin passed away years ago, and she's always sent signs of 333 to us, for the whole family. It's gone ridiculous. We were all saying, oh my God, it's unbelievable at the start. Now it's like, oh, it's believable. Hi, Caitlin. It's really nice. So 333 is a beautiful sign that your ancestors, that your spirit guides, your loved ones, you've got the team around you. You're never alone. You've got a team of support around you. Now, it's also a sign for you to take on board, to do a little bit of work. You don't always need to be on the go or take action. Maybe do a little bit of research. Maybe it's time to do a little bit of study on whatever it is you're trying to figure out. Maybe it's time to see 3 sides to a story of whatever it is you're trying to figure out. So 333 is a lovely sign of reflection. I always say, like, just when you see 333, just reflect. What's going on? What did you ask for? What are you asking support for now? How can you reflect and do a little bit more inner work? Or is there a little bit of study you need to do before continuing? So 333 is about just going inwards a little bit more. And then 444 is so beautiful. That's a simple hello from the angels, knowing we're here, we're supporting you, we're constantly, we have your back, you're not alone, trust us, keep on going. So I feel like a question.
Yeah, it's just a funny one because I intuitively, I guess, 4 was my number when I got pregnant with my son, and his name is an Armenian name. It means a gift from God. It's Hovan. And but I had 3 miscarriages and then a 4th, and I was like, I'm 4th time lucky, but I just 4 came up a lot around that, and I still see 4 and 7 as my numbers.
That's right. How does that feel hearing that, what the meaning of 4 is?
It's just so interesting that see, what happened with me, it's such an interesting story. It's kind of when I first really got into angels was after I had the miscarriages. The first one, my mom told me, you should pray to Mary and Angel Gabriel, like in the rosary, right? Angel Gabriel came to Mary to say she was pregnant. And so I used to start praying to Angel Gabriel all the time. And then one day my aunt in California, in Ventura, she didn't know that I was praying to Angel Gabriel, but I also named the first miscarriage boy Gabriel, right? Because I remember I went to an event with Lorna Byrne, Angels, and she was talking about needing to name the babies that pass, right? So his name was Gabriel. And my aunt went into this angel shop and she said, I don't know what it was, Yvonne, but I was drawn to this angel Gabriel. And I was like, oh my God, a sign. And then she got me this, was so crazy. She got me this shield, and it was like, I can't even remember the words, but it was like keeper of love and peace or something like that, something. But I had started signing off my emails exactly what was on that shield, which is so insane. And I remember saying one day, crying outside my apartment in my car, being like, please, God, give me a sign. It's all going to be okay. And my friend Angelina, so Angel, sent me a clip in that moment when I was like, please just give me a sign of Gabrielle Bernstein, Gabriel, talking about her fertility journey. And I was like, literally, I felt what she was going through, but I felt like it was my sign. So for me, the angels are just like, I don't pray as much. I still have that statue of him and stuff. But I feel like there's something more, but I've never really tapped into it.
But clearly you don't even need to, because you've got that support and that awareness around you. You don't need to become obsessed. They're there.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I think you don't need to be all or nothing. They're there. You know, they're walking with you all the time. You've seen that poem, Footprints? Yeah. Don't ask me to rattle it off now.
Yeah.
I haven't a clue. But you understand the concept, right? Is that we're walking, there's 2 footprints on the sand, and I can't even remember this whole concept, but the 2 footprints on the sand, and then all of a sudden it becomes 1 footprint. And the man that was walking was like, you left me. He was like, no, I didn't leave you. I carried you. Yeah. Talking to the angel, talking to that support. So the angels are always there, as you said, a sign of comfort and support. And you felt that connection with Gabriel. Your aunt was tuning in. They felt that connection with your beautiful baby. You know, the comfort is there. The signs are there. You ask and you receive. And
Do
that's
you
so,
get every sign from an angel, or could it be from someone who passes away? Because, for
Yeah.
example, like when Polly passed away, when I was 5.5 months pregnant, the signs were off the charts. Like it was, it's on a podcast episode of mine, but like even the other day, right, was so crazy. I went to walk to the Poolbeg Lighthouse, and the last time I'd walked there was 5 years previous, and I was pregnant with Polly, and then we're now going back as a new family. But I was thinking about her because it was the last time I took a picture of her when I was pregnant with her. It was the last picture I have. But on the way to the Poolbeg Lighthouse, I remember saying, Polly, send me a sign that you are here, but it needs to be your name. Like it needs to be your name written on the wall or something. Like but it needs to be your name, Polly, right? I'm not joking you. Within 60 seconds, I look up and this woman is coming towards me, and she has bright red, orange hair, and her name is Polly. And how do I know that? Because she showed up at one of my events, and she was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this dancing. And I remember I said, what's your name? And she said, my name's Pauline, but everyone calls me Polly. And since then I was like, oh, and I hadn't seen her in ages. And I was like, I just knew.
yeah, you've answered your own question.
Yeah.
Of course they can send, the veil between us is very thin. Is very, very thin. Of course they're sending signs and messages. Our loved ones can become our spirit guides and part of our team to support us, and often will become part of our team to support us. So
do you have to ask though?
No, not at all. But they've got their own stuff going on. They've got things to do and explore as well. Okay. But you don't have to ask in any way, shape or form. Of course, asking, they will support you, but also they'll only support you when you need it to. They'll only support you when you really need it. Do you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, so you were talking to Polly there and you said, give me that sign. I really want to know. And that was true knowing, a true calling, that you wanted to know that everything was okay, that she was okay. And the sign was instantly there. She answered your question of your heart. I think that's so powerful. And even there are some family members that will, like mothers or aunts or uncles or siblings or children, will pass over and they'll come back and they'll help us navigate this life. They'll help us in whatever way we need to, whether that's through channeling, writing a book to tell their story, whether that's helping us find a new partner, or, whatever, helping us in so many ways. I actually saw this thing on Instagram yesterday, and I have so many myself. I don't know why I'm sharing this story, but I saw this on Instagram yesterday and it just blew my mind. Again, I might not get all the details correct, was this gorgeous woman who lost her 6-year-old son. Did you see this?
Yesterday.
I shared it on my page.
Oh my God.
I know. And this is just, it's
tell
just
it,
so
you
fresh.
tell the story.
So I might get a bit information wrong, but the whole
concept. Yeah,
exactly.
You get the concept.
So she lost her 6-year-old boy. And she was asking him for a sign. She was like, I want to give something really tough here. I want a red Lego. And she said, I don't want it to be in the house. I don't want it to be anywhere that I am normally. I want a sign of a red Lego from you to know that you're okay. And she went to this venue. I can't remember what the venue was. It wasn't the whole point. I was bawling, so it wasn't the point.
Like a ballet dance kind of studio or something like that.
I can't even remember. But there was a family there who were never, ever there. They were just passing by. They never show up. They've never been there before. And there was a little boy in the corner, and he just walked over to this woman who asked for the sign and handed her a red Lego. And she said she just burst into tears and couldn't even articulate why she was crying. She couldn't even say it because she thought, what am I going to say to this poor kid? But there's the sign.
It's a sign. And I think one of the things as well is that what we tend to do is we question the sign.
Question miracles.
Yeah. If it's a sign and you think to yourself, was that a sign? It's your sign. Accept it and move on. But I think we try and test, like, okay, you sent me one red Lego. Now I want a yellow one.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why don't we just say...
Why question the miracle? This is what I always say, is if this is coming to you and you've asked for a sign and you've received it, just say thank you.
Yeah.
Just say let it be a support. Don't question the magic that it is. And I really want to I'm going to talk about tells here. I know when I go through the rest of the numbers, but I really want to talk about tells here. And we have 7 clairs, right?
Yeah.
So clair is like clairvoyance. You've heard of clairvoyance,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so we have 7 of them. I'm going to go through them as well. And I know this is turning into a very educational podcast, but I feel like
great.
it's needed.
It's great. Yeah.
But we have 7 clairs and clairvoyance, which we've heard of so much, right? And I really want you, as you're listening, to really go, okay, hang on, this is resonating with me as I'm saying this. Maybe this is mine. And don't question it. Just go, yes, okay, this is mine. So clairvoyance is a real gift of sight. It's a gift of vision. So if you're in a meditation, for example, or maybe an artist, they have very clear vision. They're very creative, very expressive, And with that, maybe in a meditation, you can visualize quite easily. Some can't, but maybe you can. You have a gift of foresight. Maybe you've seen premonitions of the future. Psychics would often have a clairvoyant ability because they can see things that others necessarily might not be able to. So a clairvoyance is a gift of vision. I'm going to summarize these as well, okay? Then we've got one of mine, clairsentient. I'm a feeler. So if you started crying here now, I'd be bawling with you. Can't help it. I'm a feeler. Or I feel what's happening in your body, in my body. If you have aches and pains in your body, if you had a toothache, for example, I'd feel it in mine. I'm a feeler. I scared my father-in-law years ago when we first kind of start dating my now husband. He was slagging me one day and I was like, right, enough is enough. He was like, all this woohoo stuff. And I was like, I'm going to call you out on something here. Like, can I do it? He was like, yeah. He didn't believe me. And I said, right, you have a pain in your knee. Can't remember which one it was. This is like 12 years ago. And I put my finger on the knee. Said, you haven't told anybody. You need to get it sorted. And his face died. And he's literally shut up since. Because like, I'll rat you out. But anyway, so I feel it in my body. If I'm open, I have to open it up. Then a cognizance or cognizant, what can I say it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
That is a gift of knowing. That's my other gift as well. So if I'm reading for someone, I'll just say things. I won't know where it's coming from. Well, I do, but it's just saying information. It's just information downloads. It's not mine. It's yours. And that's a real gift of knowing. You just know things, okay? Like, for example, actually, this is more of a clairsentient. If your family member phoned you, all they said was hello, you'd be like, what's wrong? You can just sense something's off. That's a real clairsentient vibe. Or if you're maybe thinking of someone pops into your head and I haven't seen Jack in a while, and then all of a sudden you walk down the street and you see Jack. That's a real knowing that connection's happening. Yeah. Okay. Then we have aliens, which is the gift of smell, which is, I actually smell a lot as well. Smell spirit before I know they're coming into the room, or smell angels. And you can just smell, like, you ever walk into a room, you smell tobacco? Or if you walked into a room,
like you came in
incense.
here today and you were like, is this place been newly painted?
Yeah. Has it actually?
No, it hasn't.
No. I smell a lot. My nose is like a bloodhound. Like,
maybe we've got some creative angels in here.
Oh, hey. They're all here. We're talking about them. They're literally like, hallelujah, behind me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the gift of smell. So for example, often I get asked, Sinead, why do I always smell frankincense just randomly out of the blue? I'm like, well, that's actually Archangel Michael's smell. That's his aroma. So maybe you're picking up on him coming in. And maybe rose. Why do I smell rose? Well, that's the Queen of Angels or Our Lady's aroma. Maybe she's there to support your heart today. Do you know? So like different angels will have different smells as well. And then we've got clairgustance, which I've never had and I'd love to try it. I'd love to experience it, which is a gift of taste. Okay. So sometimes people might find their saliva getting quite intense, let's just say, a build up when they're meditating. They can feel or start to taste things. If they're visualizing something, they can taste tobacco or taste whatever's going on. I actually don't know much about it because I've never experienced it. Yeah. But it's a real gift of taste. I do know some people that have it as well. How many is that? Can't remember what I said.
Can't remember.
I feel like I've forgotten one. Oh, the clairtangible. So this is also, you've probably seen this before as well. If someone can pick up an old like vintage watch or something, or vintage jewelry, and they can tell you the whole story about whoever wore in that before, or whoever, like the story behind it, what they felt when they were wearing the jewelry. They can just pick up items and they can get so much information from that item. So that's the last one I think I said.
I think Tyler Henry's a bit like that. The medium in the US, you give him a picture or something,
yes,
and he holds it and he feels it.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I'm necessarily anything, but I would hear things.
Oh, that's what I forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I forgot.
But this is like random. Like this is not consistently hearing things. This is like very. I'd hear something, and also I think I have vision sometime, but it's only of my own life. Like I'll have a vision, I'll just have a knowing like that is going to happen. Now, I don't know if I'm manifesting it and I'm like, this is going to happen, this shit is going to happen, or if sometimes it's just a knowing. I'm like, that's going to happen for me.
So I'm going to correct you on something here.
Yeah.
Because you started off with, I don't think I have anything. And then you went
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
tell 3.
Yeah.
And this is a prime example of don't question the gift. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you already know that you've got a powerful intuitive energy of knowing things before they happen. That's claircognizance. You know, you said also as well that you hear, that's clairaudience, which I don't think I spoke about. That's clairaudience when you can hear things. Maybe you hear, is it voices? Is it crackles? Is it a high-pitched noise? Like, what are you sensing?
It's a voice.
It's a voice that you're hearing. You
Yeah.
can actually hear it like I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. Well, then what I will say to that is whatever you have resonated with, whatever I said today, hone in on that one. So often we can feel like you are clairsentient, but I wish I was a clairvoyant. And then you want to just push it and you're like, no, don't climb the ladder until you've figured out this first step. So really, if you're a clairsentient, for example, or a claircognizant, trust in the knowing, write down the knowings that you're getting, the hits that you're getting, and then make note of what happens when they've come to light and how does that feel. And the more you do that, you learn to trust in that energy. You learn to trust in your intuition. And the more you trust in your intuition, the more it's going to expand and work with you, you know? And when I spoke about tells earlier on, which is still, it's coming in, I can hear it loud and clear. They're saying, listen to the feeling that you get when you have these hits, okay? When you receive these signs, when you feel these numbers coming to you or see these signs and numbers, you're going to feel, when it comes to an angel or a loved one, you're going to feel that sense of comfort in your heart. That sense of, oh, I've been heard. That sense of feeling seen. You might feel tinglings. Like for me, I get truth bumps. I get them rushing down my left-hand side if I'm talking to angels. If it's spirit and loved ones, they go right down my spine. And it depends on my spirit guide. I've got 5 that I know of. I'm sure more will come in throughout my life. But depends on which one's talking to me. I'll know who it is through the senses I'm feeling. So your tells are your way of your body's communicating to the reaction. It's reaction to what you've seen. So understand your tells. So what I will say is when you see 111 or 777, whatever it is, or your sign of a robin or Polly, for example, that gorgeous story you shared, notice how you feel in that moment because you can't deny the feeling. And that when you really recognize the feeling, then you'll never doubt it again.
Yeah.
Because it's just coming from a place of love and support. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Totally. I always get that feeling of like, breathe,
home.
relax,
accept.
Accept. I think a lot of people find it hard to accept that it is that their sign.
That comes back to worth because you are worthy of receiving the sign. You are worthy of that love that's flooding. I'm getting emotional, but you're so worthy of that love. You're so worthy of receiving it. And it's so important to recognize and just say, thank you.
And before we jump to 555, which is a huge number that's come up for me. Funny enough, I don't know how this happened, but I was cooking the other day, yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, and I was just about to put a pot on, and 555 went all across the front of the, like each one. Do you know the way you have? And I was like, whoa, that's weird. Because it starts at you have to turn it on for it was just so strange. I was like, oh, 555 again. And I was on a call. With a lady at a law firm. And she was like, yeah, we're in building 555, but we're moving. But I had heard a lot in March. But before we get on to that, what I wanted to say was, sometimes I say to them when they're manifesting, choose your sign, whatever it is, choose a random sign, not something that you see all the time. Like you said, it's knowing, for me, it's if I'm going global, it's a red Tesla. I'm like, beep, beep, I'm going global. Dalmatian dog my podcast is going global, right? So I choose a random signs, but then people start to say, the signs aren't coming. So why, if you've asked for a sign from an angel or you've asked the universe for a sign and you feel like it's not coming, what is the reason?
Sometimes asking for the sign is the sign. Sometimes if you've asked for a sign to do something, usually you just need to make up your mind about it. Sometimes asking is just enough. It's trusting in yourself, okay? But also it comes about in the most random ways too. So it's not just going to be a literal sign that you can read or see on a car reg or a clock or numbers that we're talking about. It can be on a radio, a song that has a word in it or something like that, or maybe I have a sign song, Go Your Own Way. When that comes on, or Walking on Sunshine, they're my 2 sign songs. Yeah. So if I hear them, and they're not common songs that you'd hear on the radio. But anytime I've ever needed it, when I was going through IVF, whatever was happening at the time, I was told they might have to stop IVF and go to another cycle. And I was distraught. I was going home and I was just in, like, as you can imagine, you got your hopes up. You've already been on the drugs. They told me I might have to stop. And I was in the car on the way home. My husband had to go to work, so we drove home separately. And I was sobbing. And next minute, Go Your Own Way came on the song. And I just like, we're not stopping. It's fine. Thank you so much. And also I was driving up the slip road off the motorway to go home. And actually, this is a sign, backtrack, hold that slip road thought.
Yeah.
But when I was on our fertility journey, we were on it for 3 years and just was not happening, unexplained infertility, which is bizarre. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I can see him, my son. Like, I can see him there. What's going on? What's the block?
How did you see him? Like in meditation or just
everywhere? Meditation, through visualization, through sensing. I could feel him sitting on my lap. I can feel his personality, and he's exactly everything that I had seen for years, like to a T.
Like it was a knowing that it was going to happen.
Yes, I'll completely. And after 2022 was, will I ever have children? But from 2023, it was like, right, no, I see you. Come on, let's get going. Let's make something happen here. But I had said to my husband, I said, I've asked for a sign of a squirrel if IVF is going to work. Now, the only person in the world that knew this was my husband. I didn't tell a soul, okay?
Yeah.
Don't ask me why a squirrel as well. Still have no reason for that. I just wanted a squirrel. And then about a week later, I was sitting on the sofa with my husband and I got a message on the phone and I burst into tears. And my brother was in Canada at the time and he sent me a picture of 2 squirrels. And Sean was like, what's wrong with you? And I showed him the phone. He was like, who the hell sent you that? I was like, Liam. And he was like, why? Did you tell him about the squirrel? I was like, no. And it gets me so emotional every time. But like, I received the sign, so powerful. But I was going back to the slip road on the way home after the news that IVF might have to be paused. And you know the way squirrels scurry? They're really quick.
Yeah.
This squirrel, there's no one behind me, thank God, just popped out, stood in front of the car, faced me. I had to slam on the brakes and then just plodded on. And I was like, we'll be fine. 2 hours later, I got the call being like, yeah, we're good to go. We'll keep going with IVF.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
And that's a good time to also ask for your sign when you're going through something so challenging like fertility journey or a heartbreak of, wanting to meet a soulmate and it feels in some way like it's out of your control in some ways.
Yeah.
You just feel so like if there's anything that holds my heart, it's women trying for a baby. Anything
So
like
hard.
anytime anybody contacts me and like I'll get lots of different messages about manifesting the soulmate, the job, abundance, but like if you put in there I'm struggling to have a baby, you will have my attention 100% because I knew how hard it was even for me. It's such a hard journey, but we have to remember that we're supported and ask for the sign, try and even the signs, if anything, they just raise that vibration of you being like, of like, okay, it's going to happen. Like it could just raise the vibe,
And it's okay to not have your vibe raised as well.
All the time. Yeah,
because in 2022 was, I call it my dark year. Like that was just the only thing my married name is Sinead Healy. My maiden name and my work name, my business name is Sinead De Hora. And Sinead De Hora was my saving grace. And why I say that is because even though I was struggling on a personal level, I was thriving in business because I was constantly connecting. And I was able to, and normally now, for example, if I wasn't well or if I was sick, I'd cancel all my sessions because I'm like, no, I can't give because my energy is quite low. But for some reason, even though my personal side I was really struggling mentally with Sinead Healy through 2022, but I was able to shift into channel and trust. And that really kept pulling me and kept me in that faith. Like you talk about Archangel Gabriel, she came into my office one day and she told me, you got to raise your vibration to match the frequency of the child you want to bring in. Oh, my heart's going like
I thought Gabriel was a guy.
Oh, I see her as, but okay, so this is another thing about angels. They can come to you how you wish to see them. So Gabriel can be a guy, or I see Gabriel as a woman at times. But it can be how you choose to see Gabriel is through a man. So we've got female archaea and archangels. It's basically Mr. and Mrs. Archangels would be Mr.
so
and
interesting.
archaea is
Because
feminine.
I see Gabriel, Angel Gabriel as in a male side.
And that's perfect for you. So angels will show up to you how you are able and willing to receive them, how you're comfortable to receive them.
Oh, interesting.
Based on your clairs as well. I was in a room with, Kyle Gray. Have you heard of Kyle Gray?
Yes, I went.
He's so lovely.
I'm trying to get him on the podcast. And I got a
he's
connection.
so
It's gonna happen.
So
So Kyle is another angel guy, and I went to London in March because I was like, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. So they had Kyle there speaking. And anyway, at the end of it all, I was like, there is no open hell. I'm writing a book. Not right now anyway. But I just thought he was fabulous. So I've been trying to get him on the podcast.
He's just so... He's just who he is. He's just so beautiful. He's just a beautiful person.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else. He's
and
just a
isn't
beautiful
it
person.
so funny how you can look at someone like he's quite an attractive male and he's got tattoos all up his arms, and then all of a sudden he's talking about Mary and Jesus and the angels and saying the rosary, and you're like, what the actual...
Never judge.
Never judge.
But we were in a room, like he was hosting it's a long time ago. He wasn't a ceremony. It was like a talk. He was doing a talk, and he was guiding everyone through an experience. And for whatever reason, I stood up and I was telling him what I just felt, and he said, "Oh my God, I felt the same thing. We saw the exact same thing, the exact same time in terms of an angel." Okay. However, my angels always appear to me with wings. He has never seen an angel with wings, because for me that brings comfort and strength and support. That's how I associate angels. But he doesn't. And I think that's really important. It's okay. So even going back to Gabriel, I always see Archangel Gabriel as a woman to me. But so many people will often see Gabriel as a man, and that's okay. They'll come to you, but it's the energy. So at the time I needed the female energy. I needed Gabriel's energy to be a woman to help me on that trust, going back to my body, to be able to conceive, to heal and raise my vibration. I needed the female energy. I needed love. I needed compassion. When we spoke about earlier on, I needed that. But Gabriel can come with strength, with resilience of the man as well, with that power, with that knowing. So again, it depends on what you need. They will show up for you.
Yeah, I've told this story before, but there's actually 2 angel stories that I have. One was... when I went in and I found out that Polly had passed away. So that would have been May 5 years ago. But I know that I saw an angel behind me, right? But I didn't see it in the moment. It was a flashback. Just was strange. So I Googled the what I saw, and it came up as Angel Gabriel, right? Which is so, and I was like, that happened. And then another time, when I was struggling, I can't even remember the exact time, but I remember where I was. I was going in for an appointment into the Beacon. And I just remembered there was this whole load. It was like a trail of angels behind me. I was like, I am being followed. It was so weird. But I've actually questioned that. I'm like, did that actually happen? Because it's so weird.
You've not been listening to me today.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
I know, but it sounds like... It sounds so crazy. I've never told that second story because I was just like, but like I was in the Beacon and I kept turning to look over my shoulder. I was like, I'm being followed.
There's your 444.
Yeah.
Your angels are with you. You've got the team. You've got the support.
I bet you that was the time as well when I was having my son, probably, because I was going to a recurrent miscarriage specialist at the time.
Wow. They're there to support you every step of the way.
Yeah.
Isn't that so powerful? Why question that magic? Like, it's a knowing, that happened. But our humanness comes in and we're like, hang on,
the logic
did it?
side.
It's like, believe in the magic,
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening in the root of a flower to make the flower grow. You plant a seed, but you trust it's going to grow when it's meant to grow. But we don't see it until the flower appears. So why are we doubting the magic that's constantly behind us, that's working to help us?
Yeah, I guess the challenge for people is like, if you can't see it,
or if things aren't
it's hard
happening.
to believe it.
Or if things aren't happening.
Or if things are not
faith
happening.
wavers.
And what does Wayne Dyer say? He says, when you believe it, you will see it. It's not you will see it when you believe it.
Like, focus on what you want, not what you don't want.
When you, yeah.
Which actually is a perfect start to 555.
Yeah.
So 555.
This is a number in my life.
Oh, me too.
Since March has been insane. 555.
I'm going to tell another quick story.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, you can stop me if I'm talking too much.
No,
right?
no, no,
So,
no. We love the stories.
when I was about 7 years of age, I was in a maths test in school. And the question was, what's 5 plus 8?
Yeah.
And I said 12, which is obviously incorrect, right?
Yeah.
13. And when I got it wrong, my dad found out. And since then, I swear to God, I'm in my late 30s. That man has asked me all the time, what's 5 and 8, what's 8 and 5. And it's just been a thing, right? It's just a thing that he said my whole life. So I've never forgotten what it adds up to. Then when my husband and I were on our fertility journey, and we had started the process of, not even the process, we'd started the meetings with IVF.
Yeah.
We just kept seeing 888, 555 everywhere, but thinking that's just solely for fertility, right? Didn't make any connection there at all. Until the day I went to tell my parents, we were there telling my parents that we were pregnant. And we had told them, and we were all screaming and shouting and crying and everything else. And then I said, oh my God, it's been crazy. Like, the angels are out on force. We've seen 888, 555 everywhere. And as I said it to my dad, oh my God, I'm getting emotional. As I said it, I did this. And my dad's a talker like myself. He just walked over and hugged me with tears in his eyes. And my mum just couldn't speak, which is another miracle in itself. We all were just dumbfounded. And Sean was like, what is going on? And then we had to remind him of the 8 and 5. And then fast forward 10 months, my son was born 8 pounds, 5 ounces. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got shivers everywhere. Oh, it just gets me every time. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. 555 is a gorgeous sign of transition and change. Mm-hmm. And it's a real sign of keep on going. I often associate this with the tarot card, the Chariot. When you've got like, keep going, come on, let's keep going. Keep the strength, keep pushing forward. You've got this. There's change there's change happening for you. So 555 is all about that change, that transition in your life. And we'd often see it if we are changing career, or, you know, if we're changing relationship, or if we're just changing within ourselves. Or for me, it was motherhood. I was changing from maiden to mother. You know, it's that change that was happening around my life at the time, and change to keep on going. You've got this. You're here. You're on the transition. It's happening for you. So 555 is so powerful, so special, and it's just a sign to keep on going.
I love that. I love that sign. I started to get that sign in March everywhere, and I never was a 555 girl. Like I said, I was 4 and 7, and I love the 8 because it's usually abundance, and I am abundant. I love that.
We don't need to cover
we'll
that
get
now.
to 8. Yeah. I just kept seeing 555 everywhere all the time. Funnily enough, I kept seeing 555 and 2 giraffes. And I don't know why, but the giraffes just kept coming up. 2 giraffes, 2 giraffes. I Googled the spiritual meaning, and it was like, see the bigger picture. See, because they have long necks.
Yes,
see the bigger picture. And then I was made, but I had been saying to the universe, put me on the right path, show me the way, like what I'm supposed to do here on earth. Like, am I supposed to be a lawyer, or am I supposed to be in manifestation, you know? And the decision was made for me. I was made redundant, and I am. And another thing that's about intuition, right, is like, it's a knowing. So in September of 2024, I was at a wellness festival, and Orla, who does kind of a lot of the back end stuff for me, like helping me with my newsletters and all the that stuff, I looked at her and I said, you know, I've had this feeling for a while, and I really believe that in September 2025, big things are going to happen for me. There's going to be big change. I don't know what it is. I think it could be career related, but I'm not sure. But there's big change in September 2025. I am finished up on September 19th, 2025.
Can't wait to tell you what 9 means.
Career. yeah. Like, and so
Wow.
I kept seeing the 555, and it's really funny right now. What I'm seeing is all the time flamingos, right? I went and I chose my nail color, tropical flamingo.
Wow.
This sweater was gifted to me, flamingo, pink lady, Audrey Hamilton. Flamingo keeps coming up everywhere. And so I Googled it, and it said spiritual, because I do this all the time, spiritual meaning of everything. It was like community and vibrancy, being your authentic self and showing up as who you are. Because flamingos can be, also they talk about the color. I do feel like I'm getting my spark back as a mom. Yes. You know, you lose the color. So we can talk about this if we have time in the end about like, do animals have a sign? Are there like, is it something, or is it just if you keep seeing something, you should look into it?
Well, you've answered your own question again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I would look at everything in terms of animals, and I look at everything in terms of like, why am I seeing this all the time? Like a robin. We often associate robin with loved ones who've passed, you know? But yes, they do have a sign and a meaning. Now, we can go OTT, right? And we can become obsessive with it. You don't need to be. Again, go back to the tells, which is why that was so important. Go back to the feeling of what resonates with you. Okay?
Yeah. So, and for me as well, so when we go back to the tells as well, it's this whisper that constantly comes up. So when I was seeing the giraffes, right, it was 2 giraffes, like the giraffes appeared on my computer screen. And then my son, one of the twins, was like pointing at something. I named 10 things. And then I was like, oh, is it the giraffe? And it was a giraffe. And then so I was like, wait a second here. This is, so then I know, okay, it's something. It's when you get that that tell of like, oh, there's some message here.
Pay attention.
Okay, so 6.
So 6 is a beautiful reminder to check your energy again. Okay. When I see 6, I often associate it with, okay, how is my mindset matching what I desire? How's my mindset? It's a gorgeous sign to come back from, if you're in fear or imbalanced, back to love. So when I see 6s, I come back to love. How can I be more loving towards myself and others? How can I be more loving, compassionate towards my goals and my dreams and the timeline of my expectations? Ooh, I like that. Timeline and my expectations as well. So 6 is actually getting you to come out of doubt and fear and back into love. 7 we've already covered. At the very start.
You're on the right path.
Awaken, awaken, awaken. Woo! Alignment, alignment, alignment. And then 8, which is, you already mentioned it as well, which is abundance. 8 is that like infinity, that prosperity, that abundant energy, that joyous energy. So we see 8, like bring that joy in, wear that yellow, wear the color, get that spark, be that creative self, do things for you that light you up. That abundance, it can be wealth, it can be emotional, it can be spiritual, it can be any kind of abundance, whatever that signifies for you. But 888 is all about that abundance. Say yes and more, please. Yes and more, please. And 9, which is interesting, in September, the 9th month that you're finishing up, is the ending, a completion of a cycle.
Oh my God.
I know.
I never thought about that. And it's the 19th. 1-9.
And if you add them together,
it's
which
10.
What you do is 10. We've had 10 together, it's 1. So then it's the start of a new beginning.
Oh my
Makes
God.
Sense? So start of a new beginning again. Whoo, I got truth bumps all over the back of my head.
That is wild. And you know, it's really funny because the way things worked out, it was supposed to be a different earlier date, but then they had to push it, you know, and it was the 19th.
Ooh,
so
I feel like a mic drop moment. Yeah. I know, the 19th. So again, if you see that, and that kind of summarizes, even if you see like 1313 or 1515 or whatever the numbers are that are not necessarily 111, 222, you can look at the individual meaning of 1 and 1 and say it's 1313, for example.
Yeah.
Or even, let's do 19, right? Look at 1 and 9 and what they individually mean. Add them together to get 1 digit, and that's kind of the summary of the whole thing.
New beginnings.
New beginnings.
Yeah, and I really do feel like it's a new chapter for me because I'm kind of letting go of law and like going into this world where I feel like I belong.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you had any piece of advice for people in the world about what you do, about what you see, about the numbers, the signs, what is your message?
I'm going to summarize what I've already said earlier on today, is that you are so worthy of love. You are so worthy of receiving. You are so bloody powerful. I just feel like we're just so hard on ourselves so often. And I'm seeing it time and time again. Little question box I put on Instagram, the questions that come in. You're just being so hard on yourself. Please come back to love because you're so worthy of this magic. And yes, you're going to have your human experiences, but you're also a beautiful light spiritual being. And it's okay to have the duality, to learn the humanness, to be in the lessons, but please just learn to love yourself because we just need your light. And not to be cliche, but we really do need light. And I just really want to remind everyone, just give yourself a break and just love yourself because that's the main message of the angels. Just come back to love. That's their vibration, is love.
Yeah, and you know, it's really funny. I I think a lot of people now are struggling, especially if you're a parent, with what's going on in the world, and it can really impact just your psyche, right? Like, and you're like, oh my God, what kind of world are we living in? And before I go to bed at night, I'll always like visualize, but I always will be. I've been saying to angels, God, recently, being like, let me help. Like, let me help do something. Show me what I need to do. And like, show me what I need to do. But like I said before, I hear things and it's always more love, more love, more love. It's always love. It's so interesting that you might think that you cannot do anything with what all this stuff that's going on in the world. But one thing you can do is show up as a good person. Don't honk your horn at that person that's in front of you because they missed 1 second of the red light. And you know what I mean? Don't huff and puff because you're in a line at the grocery store and someone's a little bit slower than you. Little things like that. Even though I do like to like clap back with a little sassy message to the trolls, but maybe it's a lesson, but we can all show up.
Well, we have to remember as well, and I know I mentioned it already today, is whatever a person is feeling, we're all mirrors, right? Whatever a person's feeling or what they're going through, or if they are being, as you said, sassy, or there's something going on, hang on a minute. Like, that's in them. You know what I mean? There's a gorgeous example. Actually, I saw like a school teacher went viral on TikTok a while ago. And she was saying, if you squeeze an orange, what comes out? She's asking little kids, right? Yeah. And they said, orange juice. Okay. If you juice an apple, what comes out? Juice. Okay. So if someone's angry, does that mean it's your fault? No, the anger's within them. And it's like, whatever they're feeling, isn't that brilliant to explain to kids? But whatever a person's feeling is in them. It's something to do with you. Yeah. And if you're going to match that energy, you're just going to get more of it. And imagine if you actually went, you know what? Are you having a hard day? Do you need a hug? Are you okay? Or give a little smile or like whatever. That can change the course of their whole entire day.
Yeah. And doing the opposite can change the course as well of like you being rude or mean or whatever. So love.
Yeah. And it's hard to be the bigger person at times, but you know what? Love is so much easier.
It is.
It's so much easier. We don't have time for drama anymore.
It is. No. Thank you so much.
That was so
I really need to like, I just love this signs and synchronicities. I love it. I just love it.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can you feel, are you intuitive and do you trust in your signs?
Oh, I definitely trust in the signs. I am intuitive. Yes.
My job is done.
Yes, your job is done. Although I'd still love, so when people come to you, and this is the final question because I know we need to check out, but like, what are you telling them? Are you looking at cards? Are you like what way does it work?
First and foremost, my rule is tell me nothing, let me tell you. So when someone comes to me, I'll guide us in a meditation, anchor our energy, and then I'll go straight to angels first. So I don't look at the cards. Cards are kind of like an additional for me.
Okay.
Go straight to angels first. And why I do that is because they'll tell me the symptom of whatever the block is that you're here to see me for. Where often if someone sat down and I said, how are you? They'll tell me kind of, sorry. That's totally opposite. The client will tell me the symptom, not the root cause. The angels will tell me the root cause of what needs to be healed so we can heal the symptom. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we want to get to the root cause of whatever that block is, whatever the challenge is, in order to understand it, to process it, to let it go, and then become the best version of you. So my work, my goal, and how I work with angelic energies is to help you become the best version of you. And I intertwine so many different alternative and complementary therapies into that work. Whether if it's in person, online, I can do a variety of massage techniques, reflexology, aromatherapy. We'll do Rahani or Reiki or whatever is needed in that moment to help you feel like the best version of you. And then my work is not just to give you a great time in the moment. It's like, how can I help you going forward? So I always give homework, if you will. Like, this is what you need to do. And do it, and then you can come back to me. But don't come back to me if you haven't done it, because I'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I'm so bad at being given homework. I went to physio recently, and I was like, why am I even here? I'm not going to do what you tell me.
That is like Einstein. It's like the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Do you know what I mean? What's the definition of, I'm not going to say the
insanity.
word. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll definitely be doing a round two, because there's just so much to unpack. It's so hard to get everything in an hour. There's so much.
I know. We could talk about this I do talk about this all day, every day.
I know. And you have a great Instagram with the numbers. I love when you say like which number is resonating with you. People need to decide quickly and just intuitively be like, okay, it's this number today or it's this sign today or whatever.
Before they read the explanation. That's why I give it way like later.
Yeah.
So they're not being influenced.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.